Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to go into a little bit of female physiology and its relevance when it comes to resistance training and physique enhancement, obviously within the female population. So essentially we know, or at least we should know, that females are not just smaller males. There's a lot more happening there hormonally, which we're going to touch on, and things that we potentially need to take into consideration, but also we need to take everything on a case-by-case basis. I think a lot of the time people can be very quick to jump to conclusions regarding female physiology and how to adapt someone's training or nutrition, etc., based on these markers, which we don't exactly have a direct reference for, because again, we have to appreciate that there is such a significant level of inter-individuality when it comes to hormonal fluctuations within females, when it comes to the length, duration, and the amount of hormone imbalance on a phase-by-phase basis from person to person. So let's start by categorizing the normal female cycle or hormonal fluctuation. Now again, I put this in inverted commas because this, as I said, will vary very significantly from person to person, but generalize it as the follicular phase, which is from menses to ovulation, and then we have our luteal phase, which is from ovulation to menses. Typically this will be 14 days, each encompasses a 28-day cycle. In the follicular phase we will see an estrogenic state, or a dominance of the estrogen hormone, where that will kind of rise, and then towards the luteal phase estrogen will drop off and we'll have this increase in progesterone. Now what implications does that have to our training? So estrogen will be a more anabolic or hypertrophic hormone that will be more beneficial for us during a physique enhancement phase, whereas progesterone, we can still make progressions, but it's going to be a little bit more kind of bite back with regards to your female physiology, but we'll have this potential decrease in strength, coordination, mood, and a few other factors. Also, when estrogen is higher, we will have a greater ability to partition carbohydrates, and that diminishes pretty quickly once progesterone rises. So this is something that females will associate in the luteal phase during the kind of PMS period, or premenstrual syndrome period, where they will have increased cravings, increased appetite, etc. Now this is also accompanied by, or basically caused by, your body's actual increase in need for additional calories, because this time you will see your basal metabolic rate increase, let's say between 100 and 300 calories, and your body actually needs those additional calories to go through the menses process. It is a physiologically taxing process for your body to undergo. As I said, when it comes to birth control, this is something that can fluctuate to such a significant degree. As I said, we have our different dosages of ethinyl estradiol, we have our different generations of progestins, we have our different type or phasic deployment of each of these drugs. There's so many fluctuations that we can't make any overarching conclusions, even from the data. Typically we see this in research being categorized as birth control versus non-birth control, and even those that do differentiate between different types, a lot of these are generalistic, self-reported tracking, where we have this like high variability. So we'll see some people who put on a lot of weight, we have a few people who lose a lot of weight, so the averages tend to say there's no difference. And again, these are very commonly self-reported or non-calorically tracked, so we can't really make any foregone conclusions on our metabolism, capacity to train and recover, and many other factors. So with the increase in ethinyl estradiol, we have an increase in sex hormone binding globulin, and we also have a reduction in IGF-1. So that increase in sex hormone binding globulin basically reduces your free testosterone. So then that can potentially have negative implications for your training capacity, because again, testosterone will increase a female's capacity to train hard. We'll see greater strength adaptations. We may see reduced insulin sensitivity, but not on any significant degree, and then we have a reduction in IGF-1, which, if that's consistently being reduced, we're going to have potential issues with bone mineral density, and then that's how there's also an association between our birth control pills and potential osteoporosis or fractures occurring within the bone as well. So just a consideration, not trying to scare anyone, that's just something that is seen. So what implications does this actually have for us with regards to physique enhancement? Well, as I said, we need to take everything here on a case-by-case basis. So this is something that coaches and previously myself have probably been guilty of, is making these assumptions based off a generalization of someone's hormonal profile without any direct objective but also subjective evidence. So this is something that we should pick up on over, let's say, a few cycles worth of tracking. If we see trends in their appetite levels, their energy levels, their strength, their recovery capacity, like, we can't make these assumptions, and we probably shouldn't be making any phase specific adjustments to their programming without seeing any data that justifies that decision. Again, we could have some people who don't even notice their mood, their energy levels, their strength, all these things changing so much on a week by week basis. So just a brief recap on female physiology with regards training and physique enhancement. Yes, we potentially may see an increase in appetite towards this premenstrual period. Yes, we may have a decreased ability to partition carbohydrates specifically. We'll have an increase in BMR during this period as well. But again, we shouldn't really make any phase specific adjustments during this period without that justified by previous data collection within each individual case by case basis. So anyway, just consideration, there's a lot of things at play here. We can't jump the gun. Take each of these on a case by case basis and then work with the client to get that desired outcome. Thanks for watching.